Representative Winkler, I'm wondering if you could help me with your proposal. And you proposed this, I think, maybe 5 times since the beginning of session, and I think we're beginning to understand that you do not want to vote on a constitutional amendment this year. I think we've understood that. We've also understand that we have passed off the House floor our omnibus spending bills. They are working their way through the process with one of them signed by the governor and moving forward. I'm wondering if you could clarify for the body what you mean when you say that we have to, quote unquote, pass the budget balance. Could you just describe what you exactly mean by that?
The member from Hennepin, Representative Winkler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Dean, I'll just read it, and hopefully that'll be straightforward. It says, during an odd-numbered year, a House or Senate bill that proposes a constitutional amendment must not be considered on the calendar for the day, the fiscal calendar, or any other floor calendar until bills necessary to provide a balanced general fund budget for the biennium beginning on July 1 of that year have been, and I'll really emphasize this last part, enacted into law. And laws happen when the legislature passes a bill and the governor signs it. And the legislature has met its constitutional obligation when a budget is passed and enacted into law. Representative Dean, you were here for the last 4 years. You might remember we had 2 budgets to pass, both of which were passed and signed into law during the regular session, though there was a little bit of confusion with the executive about the extent of his powers in 2009. So that didn't get signed into law, though it was passed. The legislature passed it and presented it to him for signature. And that was during the odd number year. In the even number year, we had to come back. We had to make up the deficiency after the governor's actions were declared unconstitutional. But even then, now there was a little overtime, but even then, even with just a few days to go, when the governor's actions were found to be illegal by the state Supreme Court, we still passed a balanced budget on time. Now, I mean, you can quibble, but the deal was struck and we did it in about an hour in a special session. But it was done on time. So, Representative Dean, if you pass the balanced budget into law, governor signs it, then you can go on to constitutional amendments. There's no reason to do this. These things can't be on the ballot until 2012. You've got the whole next session. We've whittled this down to make it narrow. All you have to do is get your job done in the odd-numbered year, in the budget year, pass the budget, get it signed into law, go back to the constitutional amendment the next year, get it on the ballot, have at it. I don't agree with the amendments you propose. I'm going to vote against them. I'm happy to vote against them. But they're in the wrong priority order, Representative Dean, and that's what this rule addresses.
Member from Washington, Representative Dean.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Representative Winkler for that clarification, and I think that really goes to the argument that we've had since the beginning of session. What does it mean to be enacted into law? It probably means that we can't do it this year. We can't do it until actually those take place, and we tried to accommodate you with your language. Representative Banyan tried to accommodate it. We all agreed that we needed to pass our omnibus bills first. We've done so, and we continue to work towards a budget that the legislature can agree to, that the governor can sign, and we believe that we're actually making progress on that in the last week. We've seen the governor become a little bit more engaged in the process. We are excited about that, and we look forward to working with the governor to find common ground agreement within the conference committees that actually he can become engaged with and can sign so that we can get our work done on time. That does not preclude this, nor does it preclude any of the many other bills that we are currently worked on today or will work on next week, Representative Winkler, which we do not want to disregard. We can move forward and find a budget that the legislature can agree to, that the governor can sign, that get our work done by May 23rd. However, if we hold this legislature hostage to those who would want to delay a balanced budget in order to not vote on things that we'd rather not vote on, we certainly don't want to do that. Members, I would ask that we table the Winkler amendment.
Representative